ball.
Happy to beat everybody associated with the gym.
To win games, you have to win the game.
If we keeping a buck right now, we ass.
Gonna go on forever!
So we're reaching the heart of the football season. Chaos ensuing at every angle. Tension you can cut with a butter knife. How about some more of it to go with your average Sunday? With DraftKings, the sponsor of this video, you can raise your blood pressure even more than the average Seattle game. The proof is in the pudding. All new customers can bet just $5 and receive $200 in bonus bets. And this goes for just about anything. DraftKings Sportsbook allows you to bet on any game, any league, any situation, any player. The only limiting factor is honestly your imagination. With how many parlay combinations you can play during a given football week, or basketball, or baseball, hell, mix it all up and be a madman. I throw down parlays for shits and giggles while pretending I'm a genius, over-exaggerating my prowess like many things in life. But perhaps you can't partake since DraftKings Sportsbook isn't available in your state. Don't you worry, there's plenty of daily fantasy contests available on DraftKings to flex your knowledge and skill. And all you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code UTREE. That code will allow all new customers to bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. DraftKings can offer you the world. All you have to do is reach out and take it. Kind of like this video. Okay, not really. This is the most Seahawks-Cardinals game in the history of Seahawks-Cardinals. Seattle's barely had to budge for the most part. Arizona dressed up like tortillas and turned into rancid carne asada. Say they have 2 wins all you want, but there's only 2 words to describe them. Aggravatingly bad. Marvin Harris. What the fuck, dude? There's no chemistry with Kyler whatsoever, and his hands are a fucking AMC gremlin. All this game showed to the world is how much of a fucking hack Drew Petzing is. Between the cock tease at QB, terrible scheming, and Aston Marvin crashing into walls, they made Seattle's job significantly easier. Their play calling's an episode of Impractical Jokers. You finally have momentum, and MHJ managed to hold on to a football. Run a fucking flea flicker? This organization's completely unserious. Seahawks are pummeling them, and this is long over. How the fuck is this still a game? Arizona's played like shit for 50 minutes, and they're coming back into it? Marvin discovered he has actual hands? Let me guess. The Seahawks make it to field goal range, then get super conservative and it backfires as they miss a kick? Yep, knew it. Now Arizona's gonna take advantage of an exhausted and imploding defense, drive down the field, and suddenly tie the game because fuck life. I knew it! This game's tied for no goddamn reason. I am fucking Nostradamus! I didn't see that coming. Kicking it just shy of the landing zone? Arizona came all the way back just to create a brand new way to lose a football game. That is peak Cardinals. Deflating yourself to the point of ultimate humiliation. A walk-off field goal.
From 52, the kick wobbles, but makes it through.
See, Seattle? Why the fuck didn't you do this 20 minutes ago? Are you programmed to make things uncomfortably close as a sick joke? This game really was the epitome of Seahawks-Cardinals. God, what an embarrassing game for both teams. People are saying I'm not giving enough respect to the NFC West. Yeah, with both these fucking teams, they make it funky. Top of the morning, lads. Welcome to Ireland, where Stiller bullshit reigns supreme. What do you mean this fumble's out of bounds? Skylar Thompson wasn't the only one that got robbed in this country. That being said, this was unironically the best game I've seen out of Pittsburgh in a good bit. Turns out we may have found the flaws of the Brian Flores defense. They can't adjust to the quick game, and they can't stop Kenneth Gainwell. Really? Kenneth Gainwell had a career day? Who needs Jalen Warren, apparently? And the defense flat out feasted. 6 sacks and turnovers aplenty. It doesn't help the Vikings that they're down to third-string offensive linemen in some spots and are hobbled to hell, but no mercy shall be had. It's gonna be one of those years for Minnesota, isn't it? We're stuck with Carson Wentz in 2025. What the hell did they expect? They could have completed the cycle. They could have had Aaron Rodgers, but now he's picking them apart with quick passes. It should be an easy Steeler win, but it's against the DNA of both teams. A KOC team must finish the game within 1 score, it's law. And Tomlin loves nothing more than living in his fears. Going for it on 4th and goal with a draw play? Falling apart on a blown coverage to Addison? Not going for it or using Boswell on a 4th and 1 at the Viking 40? Yet thanks to Carson Wentz, the luck of the Irish is on Pittsburgh's side. Yet again.
Hold it!
Wait, that wasn't a pick. Okay, now the luck of the Irish is on Pittsburgh's side. Yet again. Look at the AFC North this year. The Steelers could unironically bullshit their way to the division. Teflon Tomlin keeps getting away with it. first tank bowl of the season was truly worthy of such a title. And it somehow involves the Texans? Really? Well, with this offensive line, you shouldn't be all that shocked. The game was 3/4 of pain. For the people watching, a truly miserable slog that takes this sport back 100 years with such poor play. But that would imply Houston lost. Oh no, they won easily. The Titans are an automatic bye at this point. I don't exaggerate, it's as if the whole team is flat out quiet quit. They don't give a shit about a damn thing. They don't execute, they don't hustle, they don't scheme, they aren't motivated, and I certainly wouldn't either if I had this doofus leading the charge. Every week Brian Callahan and his cronies are still employed is a travesty to the league. He gave up play calling and they're getting worse. Kim Ward's being ruined in real time. He's developing terrible habits inside this shithole. When the modern Texans look competent in comparison, you've lost the plot. Nuke the Titans for Morbid. It's the only thing that will truly wipe everything clean. You're right, Ken. This team is ass. Yep, these are the Panthers I was expecting to see. They got up for the Falcons game, then apparently got complacent and allowed the Patriots to bulldoze them. And build townhomes over their mass grave. Carolina was simply an unfortunate bystander. New England was pissed off after last week's bullshit and bullied the first person in their path. See, Pats? Look how well you do when you aren't fumbling the ball on every third fucking play. Your special teams are crushing souls on the field. Marcus Jones apparently channeled Dante Hall and became a human joystick for about 2 quarters. Must be one of those ultimate team perks. As for your defense, Bryce Young isn't that hard to contain. Just force him to throw and you're good. He's 1-20 on the road as a starter for a reason. An utter rout. To be fair, it is Carolina and they're mega ass, but momentum has to come from somewhere. Especially after last week. Cleveland may have a great defense, but I don't think they can single-handedly turn dog shit into miracles. Who do they think they are? Steelers? Ford Field wasn't a trap for their adversary. It was their tomb. Jimmy, it might be time to grab my gun. Joe Flacco had one of the performances. Out of all the arm punts he's thrown in his career, this was the most. Seriously, who the fuck was that pass even to? Calls for Shador and Gabriel amplified with every statuesque fumble or interception. The sins of Deshaun continue to haunt the Browns. They have next to no offense to speak of. Bree is a baby lamb, the Lions are a Komodo dragon. The Browns may have simply been swallowed whole. Detroit merely had to open the gates and let Jahmyr Gibbs run free. Go, my friend, the world is your domain now. Same for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now go and take this win in peace, Lions. You know who you really want to take out. You're seeing green. Why, Flacco? Why are you going back to your garbage form now? You were supposed to lead Cleveland to glory, not imitate the shot on the field. What is your lead at these days? Giving the ball to the other team? Cleveland had to do something. They literally cannot offense. The only group worse than them in point production are the goddamn Titans. Enough said. Dylan Gabriel's probably going to be complete ass, but he's young and can move faster than an old rickety ship. He'll start for the time being. They're not going to take you out back yet, Joe. The Browns might need you to keep the Shador fanboys from breaking into team headquarters. Are you okay, Buffalo? This is the second week in a row that you nearly fell into a dreaded trap game. Maybe I should give credit to their opponent. It turns out New Orleans is still fighting hard after being broken last week. It's always better sport for prey to show some spunk. Well, maybe not as much as the Saints are putting on at Highmark. All I'm gonna say is thank God for Josh Allen and thank God for James Cook. If it weren't for those two and a long breakaway by Khalil Shakir, all of Buffalo doesn't want to know. I'll give the Saints props. They're at least trying even with their limited talent and injuries flooding the roster. Buffalo's a strong team. Pretty overrated these days considering their defensive ailments right now, but still a tough one to hang with. At this rate, it's all you can ask for if you're a fan of the Saints. Just show effort. That's how bad it is here. Bills, you won ugly again. Eternal damning with the faintest of praise. Stop doing this or it'll bite you in the ass someday. I think Atlanta got the memo. You sit there and ponder how many wind sprints they had to run after that shit show in Carolina. This match is critical. Dan Quinn's making his return to the place he choked 1,000 times. The Falcons welcomed him not with a choke, but by choking him out. Dan's defense was dissected time and time again. The Falcons' offense finally utilized their talent as if they were about to get canned if they lost. Michael Penix performing at peak efficiency. Receivers crisp and routing, catching everything possible. Bijan performing as the dual threat monster he's shown to be. 435 yards and a statement of domination, even if the score didn't show it. Hell, Atlanta's defense shut down the commies when they could. It was against Mariota, to be fair, but still a great sign after last week. The Dirty Birds challenged their old coach to a boat race and cruised to victory. The roller coaster continues on. Honestly, for both teams. Washington, I'd put on your running shoes after this. You're gonna be running plenty of wind sprints after this humiliation, especially the defense. What the fuck are you, Philly? What's holding you back from true form? Is it the personnel on offense? Is it Sirianni or the talentless goon he named offensive coordinator? Is it Big Dom? With how much they imposed their will on an undefeated Tampa Bay, you'd think the sleeping giant had truly been awoken. The defense and special teams relentless. The offense and passing attack humming like a bird. Dallas Goedert eating like a king. It's absolute destruction of Buccaneer ships across the sea. And a 24-3 lead before halftime should all but end it. I hate to say should, but apparently nobody can keep their foot on the fucking throat these days. It started with a 65-yard field goal from Tampa at half and got worse from there. It's as if Philly decided to put a self-imposed challenge on themselves. Perfect. Can we still win a football game by doing absolutely nothing? All of this talent, you're gonna shit out a barrage of quick drives and 3-and-outs? What the hell is your major malfunction, Eagles? They didn't complete a single pass for the entirety of the goddamn half! What a stunning conclusion. A defense that's forced to stay on the field for long stretches becomes gassed. Hell, the only offense they got in the late game was the result of said defense. If it weren't for them, this gets ugly. Once again, another game that shouldn't be anywhere close becomes a nail-biter and a lazy attempt at rubber banding. As I said, Philly's just lucky their D had a goal turnover perk equipped. Tampa now has a so-called moral win gifted to them. You're supposed to be better than this, boys, especially with the ball. And now you have an A.J. Brown problem starting to bubble to the surface. Well fucking done, you turned what should have been a dominant win into a complicated one. God damn it, Eagles. Let the Jackson Dart era begin. It's against one of the tougher defenses in football, and the current regime's desperate to save their jobs, but have some fun out there. Dart took that to heart. What a refreshing change of pace from whatever the hell Russ was last week. Agile, elusive, decisive, able to move the football without turning it over. It's impressive for a debut. Yeah, we know this is too simple for both teams' narratives. The Chargers need more pain. Joe Alt is now out as well. Really? Are the Bolts going to even have a line by November? No wonder why the Giants' D's going ham. Their defensive line showcasing their gobs of talent, terrorizing Liquid LA every chance they get. Seriously, Herbert and his men can do next to nothing most drives. Neither team can, although that might be more because it's New York than anything else. Welcome to Tuli Tuipulotu's house, apparently. Defensive grinds, baby. It's Harbaugh's wheelhouse. Too bad the Greg Roman offense can't get out of bickering in the Senate instead of doing anything of note. The G-men are doing everything in their power to hand this game to LA. It's almost as impressive as Dart's resolve in the face of having nothing around him. The outsiders merely sit and await the inevitable. A humiliating defeat in last-second heartbreak. For the Chargers. Wait, the Giants won? This feels so weird. The stereotype is for them to suffer some really bad penalty or blown coverage or some shit. There has to be a catch to this. And the league neighbors tore his ACL. Great, so Giants fans don't even get to enjoy this win. Everybody lost today in some form. Especially on the injury front. Christ. Two teams punching above their weight, if we're being honest. Potential. A dreaded word in the NFL. There's a good chance it'll never be reached. And this game's honestly an example of such a dilemma. Brock Purdy's back in the saddle for San Francisco. Which is very good, but there's a cost for such a return. The Niners have any healthy wideouts? Their passing game's down to a healthy dose of CMC, Jake Tonjes, and more CMC. Maybe the sudden drop-off of BTJ is the counterweight to balance things for Jacksonville. Like all Jags games this year, this contest is borderline unwatchable. Although if we're talking about Travis Etienne, I'll listen with interest. For most of 60 minutes, the game kinda happens-ish? Duval takes sizable leads, then San Fran tends to match them with whatever they have left that's healthy. To an extent. Thank the good Lord above for punt returns by Jacksonville to extend the madness. Duval's got a 12-point lead, but do we really trust them with it? We all know the answer there. Purdy and the Niners are going to make that evaporate like any hope the team had under Dougie P. Give it enough time and the Niners will seamlessly march down the field on a 92-yard drive resulting in a one-score game. That's what tends to happen with the likes of Shanahan. Even in his endless plight, of course the Jags miss a field goal. They were cursed with the spirit of Jake Moody right there. San Francisco has a chance to win, you'd say? I'm thinking more of an ironic ending.
Stops. Ball is out. Loose ball on the deck. Did the Jaguars do it again? Devin Lloyd is having a superstar-type game. He knocked the ball loose, and Jacksonville has its fourth takeaway of the day.
Somebody had to win this, you know. The Jaguars did just enough to escape the claws of Levi's, and they will be the ones to earn it in some fashion. They're allegedly like the Astros, stealing signs and reaping the spoils of such acts. Legally, of course. Robert Saleh can't do anything about it, except try to fight Liam Cohen after the game. Just put him in a steel cage and let him fight it out. That's the only way to settle this. Tonight, on That's So Raven, the Purple and Black Brigade march into hated Kansas City ground and die many terrible deaths. A supposed Super Bowl contender is exposed for the parlor magicians masquerading as one. Kansas City's reeling from many ailments, both mental and physical. Yet against their vassal turn into their champion form for 60 minutes. Thorough destruction of everything that Baltimore treasures. Especially Lamar in the offense. Jackson is out of sorts. The Todd Monken machine can't get anything going. King Henry not on the field for short yardage situations? The coughing fits must still have them fearing life itself. And plague takes them all. Everyone's falling to the sword. The dead continue to pile up as 7 starters are out for Baltimore, including Lamar. His hamstring is acting up. They may be advanced levels of fucked. Or he could just be giving up on the team during a shit show, I don't know. Kyle Hamilton called Ravens fans spoiled, and the defense justified their remarks by putting together another god-awful performance. Seriously, how are they fucking spoiled, dude? By repeatedly blowing winnable games, or by Zach Gore's play calling being injured as well? Or is it by the NFL's James Franklin not having a clue on what the hell to do? Jesus fuck, Kyle, have some tact! How do you make the late-stage Chiefs look dominant? For God's sake, I didn't expect you to be the soap opera of the AFC North. The fuck? To call this match a shit show would be an understatement. Just ask Gino. He's regressing to Jets form. His inability to do anything besides throw picks is sentencing Ashton Jeanty to die. Kevin Byard didn't just write back, he's delivering at priority. Yet even for all these blessings, Chicago's offense is dead in the water. Too bad you aren't getting the Flus boost. Instead, you have Max Crosby wreaking havoc on your schemes. Their defense is giving them every chance to strike with fury, yet they do next to nothing? What happened to momentum? Have the Bears ever considered that they're playing the fucking Raiders? They consist of Max Crosby and a bunch of Madden-generated players with normal dev. Oh, right, I forgot about Ashton Jeanty. Turns out when he isn't being held back by Geno Smith being punched in the jaw by defenses and pseudo-load management, he's pretty damn good. And with that high-end talent in their arsenal, he's carrying the Raiders to a 5-point lead. Yep, it's that kind of week. The shit's why Daddy drinks, kids. Nothing is ever that simple. Even deep in the fourth, this could be Chicago's last chance. Flashes of talent, but nothing consistent. Yet they, like many teams, remember, they're playing the fucking Raiders. Chicago breaks the spell. Good for DeAndre Swift. With that touchdown, he may be able to live for another day or so. Dead serious, he's been fucking awful so far. Yeah, we've seen this movie before. Bears defense bends and is unable to stop their adversary from getting into field goal range. It'd be funny if it weren't so damn predictable.
Jacob Goldenmeyer, the snapper, A.J. Cole, the holder, the kick is blocked! Unbelievable!
Wait a second. The Bears won this kind of game? That's an interesting change of pace. Usually they'd hand-deliver the ball to their end zone and let the other team pounce on it. Sure, it's the corporate Raiders, but you take what you get in this league. Their season has renewed life. Vegas, at least you have that one against the Pats in week 1. Yeah, it's the same old shit. Enjoy the long year. Will the Colts continue their winning ways? Can the Rams rebound from their free fall against Philly? This game is a lot at stake. Both teams are honestly pretty comparable. Slept on by the national media despite their momentum. And things are going to be pretty quiet to start. Nothing unbelievable, but it's pretty tight with both teams unable to gain proper grip on things. A true fight to the end. And the Colts have the advantage. It was looking like Indy had a chance to swipe away another win. Then Adonai Mitchell.
Jones down the sideline, one-on-one. Oh, what a catch! Adonai Mitchell down the sideline, turning on the speed, and a little stiff arm, ushering into the end zone for a Colts touchdown. But did he lose the ball going out of the end zone before he crossed the goal line?
He is a special breed of dumb. Losing control of the ball before you crossed the plane because you wanted to celebrate? Was anyone paying attention when Jonathan Taylor did this last year? Hold on to the fucking ball, my dude! The only thing that dumb fuckery gets you is instant locale of the week. Well done, AD, you're costing your team the game. Although an Indiana Jones CD in the fourth quarter tends to help quell those issues. Hell, the Rams even fumble, but the Colts don't do much with it. Unfortunately, LA does LA things and forces Indy to bend to their will. Long, punishing touchdown drive. The Rams tie it, but the frustration doesn't stop. Jonathan Taylor may have an amazing run he breaks for a touchdown, but oh, fuck off, Adonai, you fucking dolt! Holding when you're that far away from the play? Come on, man, you already clinched locale of the week. You don't have to make any more of a goddamn case. So they punt and the Colts defense falters with a long TD to a 2-2. Look at that, guys. He's holding on to the goddamn football as he crosses the plane. What an unbelievable concept. And now Daniel Jones is depressed because of it. There's the Danny Derbs I was expecting to see this year. Well done, Adonai. You single-handedly cost your team the game. I'd walk home in shame, but that'd be too logical. If there weren't laws against it, I'd accept a forced branding or two. What the fuck was this? This was the drunkest, most incoherent game in a year for all of them. It was supposed to be the return of Micah to Dallas, but Jerry Boy's too arrogant to admit he made a mistake. Instead, we get a contest where each and every one of us that aren't fans of these franchises sit around as sickos. We look in from the window shouting, yes! Yes! As literally nobody can play defense. I'm not kidding. It was the NFL's wet dream of endless offense on full display. Not Dallas and the flus goose they call a defense, I understand, but what the fuck is Green Bay doing? They really miss Devontae Wyatt all that much? Yes, Dak's a damn good quarterback and George Pickens isn't crashing out today, but wasn't this defense supposed to be good? That's why you brought in Parsons and dominated your adversaries every chance you got. Fuck, even the Cowboys did something on defense and they're a living meme. I've seen homeless men rambling on the street make more sense than what I saw on Sunday night. I can't even go over it all. Shit just blurred together into one gigantic pile of on-field puke. There was only one punt from the start of the second half on. That's all you need to know. It's as if Vanilla Joe Barry never left. Green Bay gets the ball, the Cowboy defense is garbage, touchdown Packers. Dallas gets the ball, the Packer defense is garbage, and Dak is dealing. Touchdown Cowboys. And after this overly long fever dream, it's near the end of regulation and Dallas is up by 3? What the hell? Well, we can't have a team suddenly make a defensive stop. Brendan McManus will get us to a tie. Why the hell is this going to overtime? The NFC North is about to bust entire rivers watching this. Hell, we all are. Dak Prescott is balling and the Packer defense is... yeah, just unbelievable throws and catches down to the goal line for Dallas, but they can't crack the end zone. A field goal will have to suffice, but plenty of time's been burned, so the Packers have to make things happen, and they'll have to dodge 1,000 bullets to do so. Think the Matrix, but with holes of cheese. Green Bay's putting the pedal to the floor to avoid certain embarrassments.
Wilson is stopped at the field of play at the 16, 21 left now, it's third down.
Or at least I think they are.
As it runs down to 13 seconds, they're going to have to leave themselves time for a field goal attempt here. Down to 7 seconds left. And Love takes the snap. Better be quick. Love to the end zone. It is broken up with 1 second to go.
Oh my god, Packers. You are so fucking lucky there was still a second on the clock. If that hit 0, we're all sending watches to Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. Instead, we get super tie. Yes, super tie. It's only the greatest achievement in the history of football. It's not your grandfather's tie. It's a tie where we just sit around and laugh. Mainly at the Packers. The second highest scoring tie in league history, in fact. This is unbelievably damning for Wisconsin's so-called ambitions. Hell, if I'm Dallas, I'm calling this a win. Jerry will celebrate as if he won the damn Super Bowl again. To be quite frank, I don't really blame him. Packers be thankful Adonai Mitchell exists. Now this is AFC East football. As terrible and ghastly as we all expect it to be without the Bills. Justin Fields is back, but is that really a good thing? He had 2 net passing yards in the first half. He's the tattered backpack meme at this point. People really need to stop making him a thing. And same for the Jets. Against them, Miami looked like the powerhouse of old. Tua was back to being old Tua. Cam Newton can eat his heart out. Their defense actually looked like a defense. The Dolphins are a walking joke and they still reinforce narratives. Lol Jets is immortal. Aaron Glenn talked about cultural overhauls and accountability, but the early returns have been rank. In fact, certain things have gotten worse. How many penalties are you gonna take, New York? Yes? Yes. This team doesn't just shoot itself in the foot, they come back and shoot themselves in the head. That's been their mantra since Nixon was in office, and tradition must be maintained. Especially to a dying Dolphin. The defense is this bad and Sauce Gardner's out here crying to the media. Oh, I'm getting picked on because I'm a child. Other teams get away with more. Eat a dick, man. Darren Waller's been living in the woods for like 3 years and he dominated you asswipes. Aaron Glenn will respond to such ineptitude by beheading several men in the locker room to put the fear of God in these underachievers. Speaking of that, there are people already calling for his head. It's too early for that shit, man. Aaron needs at least another month before Woody meddles as usual. Even in victory, Miami must suffer immensely. Tyreek Hill may be a cancer that's probably on the way out soon, but he's still an incredible talent. It's only a matter of time before he's a cheaper Steeler. Okay, maybe in Madden. Legs aren't supposed to bend like that. The poor souls that saw this live cringed a layer of skin off their body. Shades of Tank Dell, a dislocated knee and multiple torn ligaments. The legs all but shredded, and at Tyreek's age, that may very well be his career. Although we shouldn't count on Tyreek Hill from overcoming adversity. If there's one thing he's shown, he's very good at beating things. Monday Night Football needs to be more miserable. I have one near unwatchable game when you can have 2 of them. And this one's even worse than the previous slotfest. At least there was some semblance of effort in that match. Cincy, fucking woof. They are dead. They're not just freshly culled, the carcass has maggots feasting on their rotting organs. We also call that Mike Brown, but he still lives because God abandoned us long ago. Dude, even if Burrow were healthy, the Bengals are still losing these games by double digits. The organization and everything surrounding it are that bad. What the fuck is a defense? What is blocking? What the hell is Jake Browning even doing? You tell me, because it certainly isn't football. Jamar Chase is flipping shit, but we'd all be doing the same if our head coach were the inept Zach Taylor. Denver barely tried and still dominated from the opening kickoff. They could have unironically put up 70 points if they pushed for 60 minutes. That's how bad Cincinnati's become. So the Broncos get a free win and Mile High becomes a slaughterhouse. Yeah, Bengals suck. What else do you want me to say? A football player tends to know when he's cooked. It usually happens during the preseason, but sometimes he'll just say fuck it and leave in shame afterward. Remember Vontae Davis? He didn't quit at halftime, but Xavier Howard got fucking torched against the Rams. Puka Nacua and the others had carte blanche when lined up against him. Put a corner who was retired last year against one of the best receivers in the NFC? That's definitely a choice. Howard got burned so much he's starting bonfires that the Rams are roasting marshmallows on. His time's expired. Xavier Howard's hanging up the cleats once again. I get it, Father Time's undefeated. And it shows that there usually isn't that happy Peyton Manning ending of riding off into glory. It usually goes like this. Yes, I know this segment's supposed to be at the end of the Colts game, but this literally happened when I was rendering the fucking video. Thanks, football. I appreciate you taking no days off.
Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden! Bring out Jaden!
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Thanks very much. That's all. See you on Thursday. Right.
In the first half, they just need one. He's going to try to get to the edge. The edge is taken away, and now Fields reverses field, and he's got plenty of room. Justin Fields sprinting, makes a cut, another cut, all the way to the end zone.
Holy smokes. Cheat code stuff right there.